In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate. Peace and blessings be upon you all. I'm pleased to welcome you to today's lecture titled Hot Moments in Psychology. Hot Moments in Psychology. In this session, we will explore an important and sensitive aspect of human life, how we emotionally and behaviorally respond during intense and highly charged situations, which we refer to as hot moments. These moments may be brief in time, but their impact can be deep, influencing our decisions, relationships, and life path. In this lecture, we will discuss what are hot moments, how do they arise within us, what effect do they have on our thinking and behavior, how can we manage them with emotional intelligence and psychological maturity. We will present real-life examples, experiences, review recent psychological studies, and open the floor for discussion and sharing experiences. I hope this lecture will be a chance for reflection, deeper self-awareness, and gaining tools to handle these critical moments more consciously. Welcome once again. I wish you all a beneficial and insightful time. The title is In the Heat of the Moment, describes how intense emotions can cloud judgment, leading to unplanned or irrational actions. Psychology helps us understand this process and develop tools to regain control. So it's called emotional stability. If a criminal thought for 1 second he wouldn't commit his crime, it's called emotional stability. How can we put ourselves under control, especially during difficult time? Let's start with, if I want to ask you, are you a sensitive person? If I ask you, are you a sensitive person? Are you more emotional or less emotional than other people? What makes you think so? If yes, for me, I would describe myself as a sensitive person. I tend to notice emotional shifts in myself and others quite easily. Compared myself to others, I might be slightly more emotional, especially when really it comes to empathy and compassion. I have noticed that. I react deeply to stories, emotional movies, or even subtle changes in someone's tone or mood. I can control my emotions well. How? I believe I have developed good emotional control through self-awareness and practice. I try to pause and breathe before reacting, especially in stressful situations under pressure. Techniques like journaling, mindfulness, and reflecting on my triggers have helped me respond rather than react impulsively. Here it is a crucial point, essential thing we should focus on. When are emotions a problem? When are emotions a problem? Emotions become a problem when they overpower reason and lead to harmful decisions or actions. Harmful decisions or actions. For example, intense anger can result in aggression and excessive sadness, might lead to isolation, and controlled emotions can also negatively impact relationships and professional performance. What is a crime of passion? If a criminal thought for 1 second he wouldn't commit his crime, it's called emotional instability. What is a crime of passion? Can you understand why feelings could cause someone to commit a crime? A crime of passion is a crime committed in a sudden fit of intense emotions, usually jealousy or anger, without premeditation. While I do not justify such actions, I understand that powerful emotions, especially if not controlled or processed properly, can push some individuals to act irrationally in the heat of the moment. If I ask you again, are you generally a positive person or a negative person? I consider I consider myself a generally positive person. I try to focus on solutions rather than problems. And I usually believe that things will improve with effort and time, maintaining a hopeful outlook. A hopeful outlook helps me stay resilient. So, to stay resilient, do you find it easy? Do you find it easy to explain your feelings to another person? If not, why is it difficult to describe your feelings to another person? Sometimes it's easy, especially if I trust the person and feel safe. However, in some cases, really explaining feelings can be difficult because emotions are often complex and hard to put into words. It is a real problem, really, a real issue to put into words your emotions, your feelings. There is also the fear of being misunderstood or judged. So, what makes you or me feel very good? Spending time with loved ones, achieving a personal goal, or receiving sincere appreciation makes you and makes me feel really good. Acts of kindness, both giving and receiving, also lift my mood significantly. So, spending time with loved ones and with sincere appreciation makes you feel really good. Acts of kindness, both giving and receiving. What makes you feel sad? On contrary, what makes you feel sad? Seeing people suffer, especially when they're really treated unfairly, makes me sad. I also feel down when I experience failure or disappointment, particularly if I have worked hard toward something and didn't get the desired result. It's a kind of disappointment. If you are feeling down, how can you make yourself feel better? I usually take some time alone to reflect, self-reflection, or I try to talk to someone I trust, going for a walk, listening to music, to calming music, especially calming music, or engaging or involving in a creative activity, helps me shift my focus and regain a positive state of mind. It's an essential point. A positive state of mind. How can we regain it? It's very, very important to think about that. I am excited about anything. For example, I am excited about anything coming up in the near future. The thing coming up in the near future, I am looking forward to an upcoming personal or professional project. You can specify if it's a course, for example, event or a trip, something like that. Preparing for something meaningful. Preparing for something meaningful always brings excitement and motivations. It is the most important thing we should focus on. Preparing for something, anything meaningful, it's always or really brings excitement and motivate us towards the right direction. I have felt satisfied recently, in recent days. I have felt satisfied. What made you feel that way? I recently completed a challenging task successfully. If you complete a challenging task successfully, and it is a recognition, really, and the recognition I received from others made me feel valued. This recognition, when you receive from others and made you feel valued and satisfied, you're feeling really productive and appreciated, usually boosts my satisfaction. Again, it's a crucial point. If you had felt satisfied recently, I would have made myself feel that way, really, because I recently completed a challenging task successfully, and the recognition I received from others made me feel valued and satisfied and appreciated. So, do people know how you feel by looking at your face? If you ask yourself this question, do people know how you feel through looking or by looking at your face? Are you good at hiding your emotions? Most of the time people can read my emotions. Okay, sometimes they can't. So I try to maintain a neutral expression in really a professional settings, but in personal situations I tend to express emotions more openly. I am learning to manage my expressions better. So what is the best way to deal with feelings of anger? how to put yourself under control. It's called emotional stability. The best way is to pause and take deep breath before reacting. Take deep breath before reacting. It helps to express anger calmly and assertively rather than aggressively. Physical activities, journaling or speaking with someone trustworthy can also release anger in a healthy way. Remember that. Can release anger in a healthy way. If you talk to someone, this man or this woman, but in conditions that trustworthy woman or trustworthy man. When do you feel, I want to ask you, when do you feel most energized? What do you feel, what do you like to do with that energy? I feel most energized when I wake up early, especially after a good night's sleep or after exercising. I use that energy to focus on creative work, solve problems. So in this case I have problem solving skills because I try to manage my time. I put control on my time. Focus on creative work, solve problems, or help others. I try to make the most of those productive moments. I try to make the most of those productive moments for me. As a result of waking up early, it's very important. I can read another person's emotions. How is this? I can easily tell how. I can easily tell you how other people are feeling. Really, how useful is this ability? How useful is this ability to be capable of reading another person's emotions? I can usually pick up on other people's emotions through their facial expression. Their facial expressions, tone, especially tone, and body language. This ability extremely useful in both personal relationships and professional environments because it helps build empathy, improve communication, and avoid misunderstanding. So, let's move on to emotional intelligence. How emotionally intelligent are you? How emotionally intelligent are you? Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions while also being really sensitive to the emotions of others. In conditions that being sensitive to the emotions of others. I think I have developed a moderate to high level of emotional intelligence, especially in terms of empathy, emotional regulation, and really interpersonal skills. The most important thing we should ask ourselves, are women more emotional than men? Are women more emotional than men? Or is that just a stereotype? The idea that women are more emotional than men is largely a stereotype. Both men and women experience emotions equally. Women and men experience emotions equally. But society, our community, often encourages women to express emotions more openly, while men may be taught to suppress theirs. Emotional expressions varies from person to person, regardless of gender. So, in this case, the idea that women are more emotional, or this concept that women are more emotional than men, is largely a stereotype. Both men, from my point of view, both men and women experience emotions equally really. But as I have mentioned, society or our community often encourages women to express emotions more openly. That's it. We're gonna tonight to explain it in details with in the heat of the moment according to psychology. Thank you so much for watching.